All right, you guys, now we're going to be tackling some more properties about arcs in a circle that also include chords and central angles, which we've already solved some problems with arcs and central angles, but now we're going to be incorporating chords. And if you remember from the Prezi, there's some interesting characteristics that go along when chords are congruent to arcs, or when chords are congruent to central angles, or when arcs are congruent to central angles. Okay, so if any of these two at any moment are congruent, that means the other pieces will also be congruent. So, just saying. So, if we look at this picture, let's look at example 3. Alright, so in this picture, we know that segment RS is congruent to segment TU. So guess what? I'm going to label my picture. Okay, so segment RS is congruent to segment TU, so this one. Okay, and I want to find the measure of arc RS. Now, if we think back to the Prezi, okay, this is going to go along with the second one we talked about on this slide. Okay, so congruent chords have congruent intersecting arcs. So if we have two chords that are congruent, the arcs that start and end at each of these chords will also be congruent. So let's see how we can use that in our picture. Guys, so I have two congruent chords, which means the arcs that start and end at each of my chords are also congruent. So that means that arc RS is congruent to arc TU. Look at that. And I want to find RS, which RS is 3x degrees. And TU is 2x plus 27. So now that I know that these two arcs are congruent, how can I use that information to help me solve? I can set those bad boys equal to each other. Guys, so I know, let's see here. I know that arc RS, so I know over here that RS is congruent to TU because of that nifty property we talked about. So that means the measure of RS is going to be equal to the measure of TU. Alright, so we're going to be solving by setting these equal to each other, which that will help me find X. But remember, we're not done when we find X. This wants to find RS, arc RS. So I'm going to use X to help me find RS. So when I set this up, I'm going to set it up with two different things. I'm going to solve for X first. So first we're going to find X. This pen is struggling. Okay, then using X, I'm going to find the measure of R to the S. Man, this marker is struggling. Alrighty, let's get going, you guys. So I'm going to start by setting these bad boys equal to each other because we know their measures equal each other right here. Okay, so I know that 3x equals 2x plus 27. Alright, let's start solving, you guys, because 3x is RS and 2x plus 27 is TU. So I kind of filled in those values. So I literally just substituted in that right here and that right here, if that helps you. Alright, you guys, let's start solving for X. So I first of all need to join my X's together because they're besties and they want to be together. So I'm going to bring my 2x to the other side of the equation. How do I bring 2x to the other side of the equation? I would subtract it on both sides. Nifty. Okay, so 2x minus 2x cancels and turns to 0. 3x minus 2x is 1x, which is just x. So guess what, you guys? I'm pretty much done. X equals 27. Yay! So I found X, but we are not done with the problem. It says to find RS, which RS, guess what, you guys? Arc RS contains an X in it. So I can substitute an X to help me find what arc RS equals. Okay? So I know that the measure of RS equals 3x. Okay, so using x, I'm going to substitute 27 in for x, and that will help me solve. Guys, so the measure of arc RS equals 3 times x, which is 27. Alright, we're almost done. So 3 times 27, that's going to give me it's going to give me an 81. So the measure of RS equals 81 degrees. And guess what, you guys? That problem is donezo. So arc R to the S is going to be 81 degrees. Oh, man. Oh, it's still blurry. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right, guys. That was awesome. Now it's time to tackle example 4, which example 4 incorporates a different property, but it's pretty similar. So if you remember those 3 properties that we talked about on the Prezi, you can use these 3 to tackle example 4 and 5 if you'd like on your own. So let's get started on those.